A lot of scooping, but look at the end result. Welcome back, people. Today we're going to be making bison ribeye. Now, as you can notice, the fat here is pretty wild. It's a very gamey piece of meat. In order to get rid of that gaminess, we put oil, salt, pepper. We're going to be putting some butter in the middle of the cooking process, along with some garlic and rosemary. Start by heating up our pan. Put a little olive oil in the pan, and as soon as it starts heating up, we're going to be adding a piece of meat. One of the most important parts of making a steak is to make sure your pan is not too hot and not too cold when you add the butter, so that when you baste it, it is immediately caramelized. So we're going to be adding this in there. I'm going to grab my tongs. I'm going to flip. I'm going to let it cook evenly on each side so it cooks all the way through. And a little trick that I like using, since I lost the lid a while back, I actually will grab another pot and put it on top. Now it actually starts circulating the heat. We're going to turn up the heat and let it start crusting. You have a cast iron skillet to be way better on it. Lower the heat. Press one piece of butter. And then we're going to do a little something called basting. That makes sure that your steak doesn't get dry. Make sure you do play with the heat. You don't want it to get too hot or too cold. And then start basting. Look at that glistening. Look at that glisten. And when your butter starts turning a different color, open up the heat, throw it in there, turn off the heat so it doesn't burn the butter, and just start basting it. Now at this point, the steak is ready to eat. It all depends on how much crust you want. Me personally, I like my steak with a lot of crust. Another little secret to cooking a steak is take it off, leave it on your cutting board, and let it rest for 5 minutes. What's happening now is that it's cooking in the inside. After this part's done, you're gonna put a little more butter in the pan for more basting, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna have that pan on super high, and you're gonna crust the shit out of your steak. And this will help with the gaminess. Another thing you can do for the gaminess, let it rest in your fridge with salt and some other seasonings, garlic powder, whatever you want, and oil or tallow, whatever you want to use, and just let it rest in your fridge until it all comes out. If not, you're just gonna have to baste the hell out of your steak. All right, we're gonna put this on high. We're going to throw a piece of butter into it. Once that butter starts melting, we'll throw a piece of meat in there. Take you, flip you in here. Now we flip, and all I gotta say is we've done a very good job here, boys. And when you baste it, not to mention, it gets cooked a little on top. Especially when it starts foaming up, the butter starts foaming up like that, you know you're doing a good job. So a lot of scooping, but look at the end result. Look at that, nice and juicy and fatty. Absolutely peak.